We're back with the multi-talented Adrian West here on the Mike Wagner Show with his brand new series called The Pantheon. And we'll talk about part one of the series called The Golden Veins. Before we get to part one of the book, tell us more about the Pantheon series and what inspired you to create the series.
While I was still in college, I kind of started to go down this rabbit hole of discovery, seeking the truth about things in the world, history, ancient history, modern technologies, etc. Once you begin a journey like that, it's hard to ever slow down. And a friend of mine was developing this series kind of based around these biblical characters. He's still working on it. During the course of kind of research to support that, I was on my own path of discovery and picked up the pace in 2017 and discovered this author based in Africa named Benson. And he had this Facebook group and had written 1,000 pages breaking down kind of ancient historical stories, all the way from the Big Bang to Adam and Eve and the flood, and then more recognizable names in modern contemporary religions. I connected with him on social media. We thought about going headfirst into making a movie series, and then I thought that a book series would suit everything better and kind of condense the ideas, get some audience, get some buzz going, and kind of market it as the series. Benson gave me full confidence, full permission to take this and run with it. We're essentially business partners, and we've gone back and forth over the drafts. And essentially what I did was took his 1,000-page master document and split it up into 6 sections, which would be 6 books. Yeah, we are in the process of editing the first one with Amazon Publishing right now. I'm back and forth with them as we speak. And we are all really excited about this. The first installment of Pantheon is called The Golden Veins, and it's essentially the story of mankind with well-supported research from a very wide variety of sources that all kind of support the central narrative.
And of course with the Golden Veins as well too, and a bit more about that, the characters, how it leads and everything, and what do you want the the readers to get out of the Golden Veins?
Part 1 of Pantheon, which is called The Golden Veins, essentially goes back in time and formulates multiple hypotheses about the formation of our current universe, whether that's the Big Bang. We explain some more religious and far out stories for the creation of everything. And then we bring in the science about the formation of galaxies, the formation of the solar system, why certain planets have various idiosyncrasies or special little properties about them that others don't. And then we talk about the earliest life forms detected in the universe based on ancient tablets that were found in the Middle East. And when they were writing their histories, modern day people look like the Greeks and the Romans and the Vikings, and we consider that mythology. But for the Sumerians, it's agreed upon by many that they didn't really have time to write about fake fantasy stories. A lot of what they depicted with cuneiform on their tablets was in fact their history. They were here to document what had happened, pass along their knowledge to the next generation, and spread the good word, so to speak. So in this first installment, it kind of leads up to the discovery of Earth and the discovery of resources on Earth by higher intelligences. And according to our research, Earth is, like, we think Earth is a special planet, but Earth is beyond special. It's been noticed by other civilizations. In our opinion, it's being studied, and it's one of those magical anomalies, a planet that's hospitable to life with so much potential. Our ultimate hypothesis is that we're not alone in the universe, and that we've had help with our knowledge development and evolution.
That's really interesting. Made me think of Atlantis as well too, having all that potential, the wealth, and everything like that.
Absolutely. Atlantis is ultimately part of the story, especially as we get into parts 2 and beyond. But some of those civilizations were synchronous. Here we have the Anunnaki, which is what the Sumerians called the sky deities. And depending on who you ask, those were also the Atlanteans.
Okay.
And there's all types of speculation and agreement, disagreement on where Atlantis was. Some people think it was an island. If you follow like the writings of Plato and the things they reported, while others think Atlantis was the global civilization.
Hmm.
So, yeah, the global intelligent civilization.
Hmm.
So, we talk about all kinds of various scenarios, and we might be going along the time scale, and a historic event happens. We'll give you 3 options for what the meaning could have been or how it could have been translated that kind of fits the narrative of the many, but time keeps going. So the story keeps rolling, and all these various religious texts and ancient tablets found, they have these similar threads that we can find through carbon dating, history, studying the climate, and essentially the history of war on this planet and the rise and fall of kingdoms. We're just telling the master story here as best we can.
Hmm. That's really interesting as well too. And of course, the part 2 is in the works as well too. And what else can we expect? Parts 3, 4, 5, and maybe perhaps Win an Enemy, just like it is on your desk.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Full disclosure, we want to adapt this into cinema. So feature film one day. I initially wrote the teleplay thinking that we would just lean heavy on character development, take it slow, go TV season by TV season, which could happen. But in the last few months, we've kind of repackaged the first few episodes of the previous season and are now calling that installment 1 of the film series. So the film would go roughly along the same time frame as the book, but also tell a little bit more at the end as the cliffhanger for part 2. But yeah, the ultimate goal is to get high level actors, professional production value, and dial in the script, dial in the creativity, and get this book series adapted into films.
And we're certainly looking forward to that as well too. In the meantime, where can we find all your works, including your Pantheon series, especially part 1?
Yeah, by the time this podcast drops, I'll have more information on my website, which is adrianwesthq.com. I'm currently on Instagram at adrianwesthq.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 good starting points. From there, you can see some of the projects I'm involved with, and you can see the first book I wrote, which is about independent filmmaking and the nuts and bolts behind that. But from now in the next few years, other than a few side projects, maybe an ebook drop here and there, this Pantheon series is our main focus that we want to push to the world for improvement.
And we'll certainly check that out as well too. We're here with the multi-talented author, filmmaker, and producer from Charleston, South Carolina, Adrian West, with the Pantheon series featuring part 1 of the Golden Veins here on the Mike Wagner Show. Adrian, just a few more minutes here. We'd love to have you back. And what else can we expect in 2023 and beyond?
2023 and beyond, I would just say follow me on social. I'm also going to launch a YouTube channel and launch a podcast as well. I want to talk about some of these concepts with the spoken word with a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And to cap off some things about the book, here's a little dessert at the end. I'm going to include 1 lesson or group of questions per chapter. So you're not just reading a history book or a book about ancient aliens or whatever. There's going to be takeaways and lessons that we can apply and extract from each chapter to get you thinking about how to improve your own life, how to think long-term, big scale, but also go into the details that you need to succeed.
Sounds like something for the classroom. That's what it sounds like. So
Yeah, man.
I think it's a great idea, Adrian. And also a couple of things. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Fantastic question, man. Career, like I said earlier, big Stanley Kubrick fan on the filmmaking side, big Tarantino fan on the screenwriting, kind of just renegade side of being fearless, taking control of your works. Big fan of Chris Nolan as well. And then outside of film, there's athletes, musicians, podcast hosts, Joe Rogan, Jocko Willink. I could go on and on. Right now, it's a lot of people that are also talking about ancient history stuff and self-improvement. Billy Carson, Wes Watson, Mike Rashid. Could go on for days.
Well, that can be for next time as well, too, when you got a bigger list. And
Yeah, exactly. Right.
right, yeah. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Ooh, there's so many one-liners as well, but I had a jiu-jitsu coach that said, I think he kind of rehashed a quote that already existed, but it's, when you're going through hell, keep going. I live by a lot of like athletic philosophies or military strategy, motivational quotes, but things like that keep me going. Just, it's a never give up mentality. I haven't made it yet. I know people that have, but the majority haven't. So I want to push out ancient knowledge with as much research as possible and find applicable takeaways and lessons that we can use to improve the world.
And that's a really good advice as well, too. Once again, we're with the multi-talented author, filmmaker, producer from Charleston, South Carolina, Adrian West, with the Pantheon series featuring part one, The Golden Veins, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Adrian, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. Once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase and check out your works?
My website is adrianwesthq.com. I'll have a link on my website, but also you can find it on Amazon under Pantheon, The Golden Veins. And I wanted to quickly recircle to an earlier question where I couldn't think of a favorite actress, but Jennifer Connelly was one of my favorites when I watched a lot of films back in the day. And I think she's got great versatility.
That certainly is amazing. Speaking of versatility, and tell us about your Emmy. I think we got a circle about that. It's like I totally forgot to ask you about that one.
Yeah. In 2019, we shot a lot of bands, concerts at these theaters as part of our own television show called American Music Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
It got nominated for a Daytime Emmy for team directing, and we went up against some strong competition, big names, big networks, but we pulled it out that year. And yeah, Daytime Emmy 2021 victory.
And victorious indeed as well. And once again, what's your website, Adrian?
AdrianWestHQ.com.
We will certainly check that out. Once again, Adrian, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love having you back. Wish you all the best. And Adrian, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you so much for the support, Mike. You've been a rock star.